Okay, here we are. Could be the last episode of 999. Um, I did the math in my head at a time just to save a few seconds to a minute, depending on how long I've had to sit here and think. But it should be this one.
Let's try 7, me, and Cap. If this combination opens the door, then Cap's bracelet is number 6.
Hey, it opened! The door opened!
What? Why? What does that mean?
Isn't it obvious? Cap's bracelet is number 6.
But doesn't it say 0?
This isn't a 0. The symbol on here isn't a number 0. It's a letter O.
Oh.
Whoa, wait a minute. I don't get it.
So it's X,
I mean, we figured out that Cap's bracelet is 6, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean there are 2 people with 6s?
There is most likely only one person with a 6.
Oh, it's a 15.
But
What?
I don't get it. What about June?
Well, this is only an educated guess, but I think June's number was never 6 to begin with. Her bracelet was flipped. In other words, June's real number is...
9.
That seems the most likely.
Then all this numbered door stuff was just a load of crap?
Why would you say that?
Because if June is 9, then the numbers wouldn't match up. Here, look.
List of all the numbered doors June's gone through.
I'll let you know what I'm writing, okay, Snake? And that's everything. I wrote down which door she went into and with whom. And I wrote what all the numbers were. So if you switch 9 in wherever there's a 6, the numbers don't work. If the digital root is 7, then you can't open door 4. If the digital root is 2, then you can't open door 8.
Clover, do you notice anything interesting on that list?
What do you mean?
You're talking about 3, right?
Oh.
3?
Santa's always in the room with her. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
What about it?
That's quite simple, really. You told me that the first time you came to this room, Santa was the first to refuse to leave June behind. Now, doesn't that beg the question why? Why would Santa do such a thing? The answer is easy. Because Santa can't open door 9 with only 7 and Lotus.
Let me see something real quick. So, oh wow, okay. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, well in that case, there's no way this is gonna this is gonna wrap up in the next 30 minutes. I feel like so maybe we'll have 1 or 2 more episodes. So that this goes in the white path. So on the red path, is there any point where I with June? Careful not to. Okay. First class cabin. I don't think I'm. Oh, yeah. I think it does check out even on the other routes. I'm always with June. If anytime you're with June, you're also with Santa.
Of course, there's only one reason for that. His number isn't actually 3. Santa's real number, 7? Would you be so kind as to modify my sister's equations?
Yeah,
I
sure.
guess I would make it 0.
This is what you were getting at, right, Snake?
Thank you. That is exactly right, 7. Santa's true number wasn't 3. It was 0.
No way. Santa is 0?
And June was 9, not 6. Conversely, Santa was 0, not 3. Plus 3 and minus 3, they cancel one another out. Nothing appears out of order.
Santa was still playing by the rules of the nonary game this whole time.
Precisely.
So you're saying Santa planned this whole thing?
I'm not sure if he acted alone or not. but I think it is safe to conclude that he is 0. If my hypothesis is correct.
Snake's hypothesis. Something doesn't seem right. June's bracelet being flipped. Even if that were possible, that would mean there are 2 number 9 bracelets.
Yeah.
And if that's the case,
All right, that's enough talking. Let's go. It's high time we went through that door.
oh, it's right there. Oh. All right, let's keep going.
I think these stairs go to the bottom deck.
Looks dry.
Let's head down.
Hey, it's a...
This is the Neptune symbol. There must be a key around here somewhere.
Oh, we're gonna have more rooms.
Neptune key. I only have the Uranus key card.
It's a different planet. Plus, it's the wrong kind of key.
Let's turn around and go back for now.
Yeah. Hey, another door. And a card reader this time.
It's the Uranus symbol.
This is the place.
Wow!
Okay, so we heading up into the library.
It's totally full of books.
There's so many. I don't know where to look.
All right, if we want to get through that door out there, we need the Neptune key. I say we split up and look for it.
Okay.
Very well.
Sure thing.
Good. Let's get started then. We don't have a lot of time. Hurry.
I was going into novel mode. Okay, I was gonna say this is an escape. Oh yes, Alice sleeps in small chamber past the forest of knowledge. Yep, so that's what I figured is coming. As he began his search for reasons he didn't fully understand, Junpei felt those particular words float through his mind. Oh, I am doing escape. Okay, never mind. This game isn't anywhere near over. God damn. I thought it was going to be it, but probably not even going to finish this room this episode. That's the library. Energy theory, development of nanotechnology, materials, interactions between shortwave energy and matter. What else have we got? Just listening to you read those titles is giving me a headache. Can't say fancy technology stuff and I get along real well. Keep on talking about that stuff and you're gonna put me to sleep. Okay. Oh. Let's deal with these titles. They're all just gibberish. Hey, what if we, like, switch them around? I don't know why I saw that word. Switch them around. Yeah. If we move them around, maybe they'll spell something. Oh, I get it. Yeah, heck, it's worth a shot. How about this? Looks like putting those books in the right order opened this thing right up. That was a piece of cake. Hooray! You did it, Junpei. I guess that turned out well enough. So the letters from the tile spell out, open here, find bulb. Simple enough. The light bulb looks like it's brand new. And it's really big, so it'll make a lot of light. Okay. The black hole hypothesis. Gamma ray astrophysics. I guess this bookshelf has an astronomy theme. Oh. Kid's book here. Looks like it's a children's story about Native Americans. Don't you think a random book like that is kind of suspicious? Maybe you ought to hold on to it. This one has some Native Americans on the cover. Hey Junpei, take a look at this one. Native Americans, huh? Maybe it's got some... Whoa. What's that? This one's a... This is one of them pop-up books. LRK. That doesn't mean anything. Does it? You could make them ARL? Like Curl or Carl? It's so weird, okay. Well, that looks like there's another thing in there, right? Or is it the... I don't know, that's supposed to work. Whatever. What's Hellenism? I think it's something like a fusion of Greek and Oriental culture. Okay. History of the medieval period. Maybe it's about Sir Lancelot. Isn't he just a story? I don't think you're going to find a guy who didn't really exist in a history book. Look, this one says Cultural Heritage of Rome. That's going to be serious inheritance tax. There's one for all of these. History. I assume it's about European history. Yeah. Just gonna leave it at that, Snake. Just gonna leave it at that, Snake? Doesn't seem like you... Marine creatures, little fancy, some kind of prehistoric critter. I can imagine they had need of perms. Okay. That's got nothing to do with this. Okay, I think there's... I don't really need to get into that anymore. So I did those. Okay, handrails made of metal, probably a wise choice of building material. Scaffold. So I can go down. This one, it looks just like that picture book from earlier. The one with the pop-ups. Think they're part of a series or something? They do have the same binding. There's a baseball on this one. Come on, Junpei, let's see what's in it. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's probably baseball. Whoa. This is a pop-up book. It's got the letters H-E-A-D popping out of it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I didn't see that. Wait. Oh, that's the other side, huh? Okay. Made robotic assembly line techniques. Okay. What's that? Some sort of comic book? Geez, I guess boys really like that stuff, huh? No, you're thinking of a different sort of robot. The book is talking about automated machinery that's used to build things like cars. Okay. Genetics engineering. Let's look at it, okay? Oh, looks like there's a whole lot of space behind these books. Look, Junpei, I think there's something hidden behind the books. Another light bulb. This is a brand new light bulb. Looks like a pretty high wattage one, too. Guess we got another... Okay, so I guess it was the light bulb that was important there. Well, there was a light bulb here. There isn't anything here now. Teletemporation and telepathy. What the hell is this one about? Well, I know what telepathy is, but I've never heard of teletemporation. It refers to having the ability to travel through time. Okay? Some weird stuff here. I can't even pronounce this one. It's not a person's name. It's the name of a fictional book created by Abdul Allah. It's said to be one of the sources used in the creation of the legendary Book of the Dead, Necronomicon. Okay. So none of this is important. These bodies. Let's 7 sources. Okay. Yeah, well, he wasn't the only one. Okay. Nothing important there, I bet. Oh, jeez. There's a whole... Okay. I think it's kind of clear which ones are and aren't important. Okay, so let's check this. There's a note on the table. Lights to the books. Huh, what does that mean? Interesting. Well, intelligence often hides itself in darkness. Have you ever thought about the pages of a book? Each page only sees, what, maybe 2 or 3 minutes of light? Or the reader's on the next? They spend the rest of their lives locked in darkness. Rather like myself. That's horrible. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. Not at all. I live in the darkness, yes, but that has gifted me with the ability to catch the truths others might miss. I can hear the voices hidden in the darkness, you might say. What the fuck does that mean? Okay. And that's all that I can do with that, apparently. It's a coat rack, like a place where you can hang coats and hats and stuff. Well, this one's not too big, so maybe just hats. Very useful. Okay. Very useful. I think that's it up here. Let's go down. Oh, that's a bunch of stuff. Dad kind. What the hell is this? Wasn't that a German mathematician? Oh. Maybe it's a compilation of his work. Owen, huh? Owen isn't enough to go on. Perhaps it's about the English Revolutionary? Leibniz. This book is in German. It looks like it's the complete works of something. I've never heard of it. Well, Snake doesn't know what it is. I don't think I'll ever know. Sheldrake? Sheldrake. Isn't Sheldrake... I mean, you didn't explain it to me. Why is that funny? Okay. This one's Gold Box Conjecture. Conjecture. What's it about? Like magic or physics stuff or something? But it may have an odd title, but it's actually a very respectable mathematics book. It deals with one of the unsolved problems of additive number theory. Sorry I said anything. Look, let's not get into this right now, okay? Okay. I don't think there's anything else. Useful there. Oh, what is it? A small enclosure with 9 sides. There are 3 of these things that look kind of like music stands. Hey, Junpei, you think maybe you're supposed to put those pop-up books on the stands? And you can open them up. Oh, yeah. If we do that, then they make a shadow on the bottom there. True, but there are 3 stands, right? We don't have enough picture books. In other words, we need 3 picture books. Okay, so I also need a 3rd light bulb, so... Wait. Bookshelf has sort of glass inlay. Pretty big, but there's only 6 books on it. That seems kind of weird. Hey, it looks like there's something on the bottom. Can't really see it, though. The glass is all foggy. Oh, a number lock, okay. And the last door is a cylinder lock. You know, the kind of lock where you rotate the numbers around until you got the right ones to open it? What the hell is this? It's like they just gave us the answer. So might as well give it a shot. Wait, what? How did they just give us the answer? Oh, I see what he's saying. 632415. That is wrong, but... Oh no, it was right. You did it, Junpei. Yay. I don't know why, but I don't really feel particularly happy about being praised for that. Whatever. At least the lock's open now. Let's see if we can get it open, alright? Oh, there's our 3rd light bulb. Feels like a light bulb. Pretty high wattage too, unless I miss my guess. It'll generate quite a bit of light. All 6 books seem to be pointing at the cylinder number lock. Okay. There it is. Yeah, there's another one of those picture books here. Something about these things feels kind of nice, you know? Brings back good memories. I guess even people like Seven were kids once. No shit, you little brat. Hey guys, cool it, alright? I think I'm gonna take this picture book with me. It's got a magic wand on it. Okay. So what's inside? Well, aren't you going to open it? You're just gonna pages inside. Okay. I don't know why you got surprised by that all 4 times, but... Looks like another pop-up book. This book has an S, an E, a dash, and a number 5 sticking out of it. I'd be impressed if I was 5. There are dim lights on the floor. Dim lights are set at 3 points across the floor. Okay, how about we putting these picture books on these stands, then? This is a little weird. There are 3 lights in this thing. If I can replace the bulbs... Alright, so there are 3 lights in here. I'm gonna change these bulbs. Now they should. Awesome. It worked. Way to go, Junpei. Good job, buddy. There's something protecting the bottom. These letters, they seem familiar. Okay, Sheldrake 5. So... Says Sheldrake on the spine of this book. It's got the volume number written on the lower part of the spine. Okay, let me... Silly. Okay, I guess I have to click on the words.
Sheldrake 5?
Oh, okay.
I think I saw the rest of this collection somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Sheldrake.
Have you heard of him? Sheldrake, I mean.
Yeah, Lotus told me about him.
There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory.
Interesting. That was a long time ago. I did not remember that.
Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
Really? From Lotus, huh?
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff.
She did?
Yeah, what was it?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone.
You did? Why?
Well...
Look, man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay?
Tell you what?
Don't give me that. About the experiment.
Ugh. Very well, fine. I'll tell you everything. But not here. Let's move to the top floor. I suppose I might as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well. To be honest, the explanation is quite simple. Zero told me not to. I had little choice. He didn't walk up and tell me, of course. He gave me a message engraved on a card.
That's a Braille card. It looks just like the one you showed us earlier. So you had 2 cards?
No, only one.
Huh? What do you mean? I thought that card just had some rules for the nonary game on it.
Yes, it did. And those were the rules I read you. However, they were not the only thing on the card.
Which I guess no one else would have known.
There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say there was something I couldn't read.
And that was?
Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago. Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator. It's a threat on our lives.
Oh. Well, what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too?
I don't believe she did. But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers?
Yeah.
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone. Still, apparently she told you. That girl.
What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me.
I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was. She's prancing around downstairs happy as a clam now that you're back.
That's very true. I've decided I can trust you. I've decided to tell you the truth. The chance that Santa is 0 is very high. I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment. And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us.
Why?
Clover told me about the 4-leaf clover, about the words. If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of it. He wouldn't kill us, no matter what the situation was.
Hey, Snake?
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment.
Yeah.
How much do you know?
Clover told me about.
I see. The morphogenetic field in the experiments 9 years prior. How the experiments had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations, one being the ship and the other being a building in Nevada. And the girl that died during the experiment. She told you all that, did she? At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us to determine
Is who did this and why, right?
yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes. The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Yep.
There were 4 of them running the show.
We know who
Gentaro Hongo,
We know that.
Nagisa Nijisaki, Teruaki Kubota, Kagechika Musashido. Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Nijisaki was his right-hand man and did the lion's share of the planning. Kubota led the company's research and development division.
Oh,
Musashido was their majority stockholder.
at least from this picture, it looks like that the guy in the middle right is the guy that Ace actually killed, and the guy on the left is the 9th man.
It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment. Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all together. Kubota developed the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash.
So it's Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido.
Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale. To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist them with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonori Project. The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field. Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize? Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation? Experiments with humans produced the same results. The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before. Why is that? How could it happen? The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye. And through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that answer. That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields.
But that's just a theory.
Can't bring yourself to believe it?
Yeah.
Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it. Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murder. They believe the devil exists. Whether or not he does is immaterial.
So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic field.
That's right.
But I still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people, right? That is what you were saying.
Yes.
So how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field?
I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem. The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we? Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstanding. Mankind's
Okay.
thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event. All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far?
Yeah.
Now, if there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would... If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well. Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do?
Come on, there's no way.
I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand. What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then? A person who has the power to write to the field, and someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver. What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these?
So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, close enough at least.
Come on, that's just crazy.
Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first. At least, that was how they thought. That was why they decided to do their experiment. That was how the Nonary project began. By the way, Junpei, have you ever heard of the Gansfeld experiment?
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
So, why did you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary project. The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret. Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise. Children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field. Of course, none of them volunteered. They were kidnapped. There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children total. For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had one transmitter and one receiver. They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put into Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert. The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A. Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic. From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the fields. The first is epiphany. The other is danger. Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind? It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in. They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room. Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger. He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the Nonary game as the ship sunk. By forcing the children into a life-or-death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields. The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic exactly. Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape. But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown. Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely? It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule. All of the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical. Everything was just like the real Apollo 13. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in. By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with. Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the gigantic and building Q.
I don't know.
The children from Group Q had to use the power of epiphany to solve the puzzles they found and transmit what they learned through the fields. The children in Group A, however, they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage. That is the simplest explanation I can manage.
Huh. Hey, Junpei, Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around on those bony asses? Get down here already!
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here, and soon.
Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you.
Hmm?
Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
Why?
Well, I thought it was only 16.
Oh, yes. That was what they said on the news, wasn't it? Yes, I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment. After all, you couldn't exactly play a nonary game with any less, could you?
I think I had wondered that when that first
Well,
came up.
Yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong?
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children. However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing. They were brother and sister, like Clover and I. The brother's name was Aoi. The sister's name was... Her name was Akane. That was the girl who died.
That's what I thought.
Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago? Then, who is June? No. That's impossible. It can't be true. Akane isn't that uncommon of a name. If Snake had known her last name, that's a different matter entirely. So they share a name. A lot of other people do too. It doesn't mean anything. It was someone else. Of course it was.
Is something wrong, Junpei? Your breathing sounds strange.
Oh, no, it's nothing. I'm fine. Let's get back down there, all right?
I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words to come out.
Okay, we're back to this. Okay. I'm going to call this one here. Actually, can I? Oh boy. Okay. Wow, it still has a question mark even though we're on it for some reason. Well, looks like we'll be needing a few more episodes. We'll see where this goes. But yeah, so I guess I'll see you next time.